Welcome to Deep Thought. Replace a negative thought with a positive thought. Yeah, I'm going to tell you what. We all going to have negative thoughts. Yeah, that's normal. It ain't nothing wrong with that. It's normal. Thoughts, I don't care how positive we might be, how positive we seem, we're going to have some negative thoughts. Now, people say, Rom, you're always so positive and stuff. Oh, yeah, I get some negative thoughts. I ain't going to lie. I've had plenty of negative thoughts. But one of the things I learned was as soon as you have that negative thought, as soon as you have that negative idea about something, replace it right away with something positive. You know? Yeah, things might not be going well, but then you have this, and this. No matter what's happening, you know? Like, I've been very open about having a stroke. Now, at first I was like, oh man, I had this stroke. I couldn't walk. I couldn't eat, any of that. But then I was like, but you can still move. And there were actually a lot of positive things that happened that I'm not going to necessarily share, but I was like, well, yeah, I had this stroke, but then I seen this, And I was like, yeah, I replaced it with a thought. Well, I said, well, I needed a vacation anyway. And that's how I looked at it. It was like, no matter what negative happened, I was looking at the positive side of it. And there were a lot of positives. And that's with anything in life. Yeah, you know what? You lost that ball game or you got fired from that job. It was like maybe that wasn't a job for you. How many times has one of y'all gotten fired from something, but then you get a better job? Because I remember I gotten fired working for this particular website. And it wasn't even for the work part. It was like I wasn't in the habit of hanging out and partying with the owners. And seriously, that's all it was. I don't have any problem saying that, right? They more concerned about partying and everything. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to work. So, I wasn't with everybody else. But you know what? After, I got fired from there, a few months later, they had some real issues. They had some major issues that came up, and I couldn't help but laugh because it was actually a good thing because then I was able to do better. And I was just like, okay. And no, I ain't gonna tell you the website. I ain't giving them any dap. One of my 1,000 jobs. And I could look at that as negative, and yeah, that was a negative, but then it was actually a positive because I was thinking, you know what? Because I was seeing some of the bullshit, and I was like, I needed to get out of this. So it's regardless. If you play, you could be doing something as playing ball somewhere, playing in a league, playing intramurals, your team loses. But instead of getting mad, you could say, well, hold up, I need to work on my game. I need to do this. I need to do, that. Like no matter what. And it's going to happen. I'm known for talking about relationships. Now, you might run into that person that rejects you. And you might be like, oh man, I'm this, I'm that. But then the positive thought is, well, maybe they weren't for me anyway. Or maybe I need to start doing this. No matter what. Because here's the problem. If you we always going to get thoughts. And according to some philosophers or some metaphysicians, negative thoughts are just floating around. So we're going to get them. If you get that negative thought, it's no shame in getting that. It means you're human. It means you're thinking about something, right? It's no shame in that. But you don't want to dwell on it because sometimes when people dwell on it, that's when their lives fail. That's when they fall. That's when things keep happening. Like I knew a young lady, and I would later find out she was having some real trouble with her mate. But I remember just listening to her talk, and she was calling herself stupid and all of that. I was like, where the hell is this coming from? I was like, don't call yourself stupid around me. But she kept that thought, and then end up that guy was he was demonic. But I was like, yeah, that's how he was controlling and keeping her in some negativity and everything. See, once you stay in negativity, that keeps going. It builds on it, because if you have a negative thought about something, you'll start building on it. If you thinking you ain't shit, right? All right, you might have that negative thought at first, but then if you dwell on it, you ain't gonna be shit. You ain't gonna do the things that you need to do to really make it in life. You're not gonna move up. You're gonna stay there. And there's a lot of people, unfortunately, there's a lot of people, once they get that negative thought, they keep that for their life. You know, I mean, you find out from people when they were young, their parents or some adult or even some other kids in the neighborhood say, hey, you ain't nothing, you ain't this. It was like, boom. Now, that's going to happen. And, you know, but every time somebody says something, even when someone says something negative to you, think, okay, but I'm this. You know, I got this. I'm still breathing. Hey, that's the most positive thought, no matter what happened. You know, don't let someone's negative thoughts really hurt you, really bring you down. You know, every single time you get some negative thought, replace it with something positive. Every single time. You know, and you have to, because look, being out in the world, let's be real, there's a lot of negative things happening. There's a lot of negative things going on. And indeed, even, I see it even online, you get some people, they just talk negative, negative, negative. I've known people, negative, negative, negative. I'm like, well, you got this going on, I don't care. Even when people talk about the state of the world, people can always talk about what's bad happening. You get some people, they make their money off it, talking about what's bad happening. But I see a lot of good. Because every negative thought, and I'll see the bad stuff, and it'll come through. It's like, well, this happened. I say, well, that's happening, but I'm seeing this. You know, I'm seeing this. I'm not going to let the negative thoughts or the negative sentiment from myself or even from other people, or even what they try to promote, even a propaganda in the news media, I'm not going to let that bring me down. In fact, no matter, even in news media, you know, they'll say, well, we got this, this, and this. But I'm like, oh, well, I'm seeing this and I'm seeing this. You know, like people talk about, you know, I'll use a great example. People will say, well, the economy is this, the economy is that. But then I'll be driving, I'm saying, well, hold up, they're building these homes here. They doing this. You got these people with money here. Somebody, hey, you know, you be driving, seeing all these expensive cars and stuff. I'm like, somebody doing something. Because even during the Great Recession, I actually made more money during that recession. I remember talking with somebody too. They were like, you know what, somebody's always going to make money during this period, you know? So, you know, just going through life, whenever you have a negative thought, and that's normal, ain't nothing wrong with that. That means you're human. Replace it with a positive thought. In fact, replace it right away. No matter what you see, no matter what happens, think in terms of, okay, yeah, that happened, but then I got this going on, boom, boom, boom. All right? So anyway, that's all I have for right now. Think on what I've said, all right? And I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.